You were meant to be small so that you could learn to be big.
Hi, my name is Araya, and I currently live on this horse farm and animal rescue here in Italy with my dog Arlo and our growing little zoo. I love to share about spirituality and wellness, travel and my van adventures, and living a life without limitation or fear of what others think. I live in this glamping tent on the farm now, and when I arrived to Italy, it was my dream to find a home base. Now that we have one, it kind of feels like the adventure has just begun. So if you want to see what's next, I invite you to follow along.
This message right here is so powerful, and it is breaking patterns like so deep within my DNA, and I just know that you're meant to be here right now for this message. And it was directly from source. It was in my river spot that I've shared with you guys about. So right now, hello, hi, my name is Araya. I live on this horse farm and animal rescue here in Italy. And this is my tent, my van. You guys saw in the intro. Right now my ankle is a bit injured. It's actually been doing so much better since I started doing this. Go down to the river every day, cold therapy, connect with Gaia. Like, I've been having this wonderful communication with Gaia and with Source, the great mother, the great father. It's been like so powerful. Like, I want to try and share everything that came through today because they have such beautiful messages for you. And so this first part is that you had to be small so that you could learn to be big. You can't teach anything that you don't learn yourself. The reason why you had to go to the darkness is so that you could find your way to the light. And that specific pattern, that code, that frequency that you carry will be the thing that you're meant to be on earth for. Like, you designed your life perfectly so that you could get to exactly where you were meant to go. And if it has been hard, if you have been going through a rebirth, like many rebirths, but a rebirth specifically recently, then, which I have a feeling many of you did, I went through such a big rebirth, and it was literally death and life all around me. Like, if you guys remember, if you've been here for a little while, my horse had a stillbirth, babies didn't make it. Then we had the birth of another baby horse. We had the birth of all the puppies. So you guys have seen Aslan. I just did puppy daycare here. I'm tired from that. And then in my accident with my ankle injury with Ladybug, I was under her feet. I accepted my death because I felt, it's scary when you're getting trampled by a horse. If you guys have ever been trampled by a horse, then you know, because of the environment of where I am right now. A lot of people here have been trampled by a horse, so it's been nice to connect with them on that, but I know not everyone has. So if you have, maybe let me know in the comments, because it's nice to bond over that. It was the same thing with Lyme disease. I liked to bond with people over that. So I was like an instant connection. Also, excuse the dogs, many rescue dogs on the farm. I'm looking at what I wrote down because I want to give it all to you. And pretty much this death cycle that you went through recently, like that was and is, because you're probably like still on the tail end of it, it was the fastest way. If you've been doing your intention setting, you've been clear on what you want, you've been moving towards the things that you truly desire, and for some reason, shit has just hit the fan, like chaos everywhere. Maybe you've been perceiving a lot of lack, like you just like see lack in your life, lack in your money, lack in your relationships, lack in your friendships. Like, maybe people aren't showing up for you the way that they used to, or you're just feeling like a lack of health, like you're not feeling like your most vibrant self. Maybe, you have had an injury or you've had some kind of illness, or like things just didn't go the way that you planned them to go. You had travel plans, you were going to go do this and blah, 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 and it didn't work out that way. You had a plan for a job and then it didn't work out. Things are changing, things are falling apart, the chaos is happening. Maybe you live in a place, in a country, where there's a lot of chaos right now. This is happening for the rebirth. The chaos is happening to shake up and bring the things through that have to go through. And this was the quickest way. Like, that's what I really want to like harness in or nail in, or whatever the term is like, this was the way. When you work with quantum manifestation, and a lot of this comes from the book Reality Transurfing, there are many different ones. The one that I read was A Rustling of Morning Stars, I believe. And that one, just randomly, it worked out where I had downloaded it because I had seen someone talking about it on YouTube. And then I had it on my Kindle. And I was going to read a different book, like a Sarah J. Maas book. I was in that like season of reading all those. And I accidentally clicked on the book. And I was like, whoa, I meant to read this. And so it talks about quantum manifestation and how we can quantum manifest. I like recording at this time because of the light's nice, and it's like at the end of my day, it's when I feel really clear, but it's also like when the dogs are most active. And so in quantum manifestation, you choose your timeline. You choose the timeline that you desire, that like would have everything that you want. Like, there's probably one specific thing that you would be doing in your chosen timeline, which is what I teach in all my courses, is the chosen timeline. So you have this chosen timeline where when you're doing that one thing, you know that like everything else is fulfilled in your life. So if you do this one thing, you know all your money stuff is fulfilled. And that means that like maybe you can go to the right doctor and get the right supplements and get the right whatever. And then that also means that like you have the free time to go travel, which you've been wanting to travel, and like all these different things. You have time to focus on your fitness, you have time to spend time with friends, and all these things. So like it's the trickle effect, but it is the top. It is like the one thing that you know could give you the option to have it all in this timeline. When you choose that one thing and your mind and your soul come into alignment and you choose and you say, this is the timeline, this is what I want, and I'm going to move towards it, then Source and Gaia, the masculine, the feminine, the forces of the universe take you there. And they take you there on the quickest route. And on the quickest route, you might face your darkest demons. Like, I don't like to use that word, but like your darkest shadows. And it might be scary, but scary is an option. Fear is an option. You get to decide how you react. When you leave the matrix, you leave this 3D world behind, you have to like have this inner decision and this inner dialogue of saying, I'm really going to perceive things differently. Like, I am really going to have a different experience of reality than other people. And that is your choice. You get to choose that too. And so maybe, you know, someone ghosts you and you typically would be like, wow, like I thought this was the one, and then they just disappeared. But instead you have this inner reality of like, oh, everything's happening for me. Everything is like in perfect divine order. God's will is perfect. My will is perfect. Like, we are on the right track. Maybe you perceive a lot of lack. Like you're just stressed about money. You're stressed about how you're going to find that real, not real, but that timeline of fulfilling your dharma and getting abundance in return for it. And you perceive all these bills coming up, and you perceive all these expenses and all these things that like cost money. And then that fear comes in, that lack comes in, that unworthiness comes in. And those are all balancing forces, which is a term that comes from the book Reality Transurfing. So the balancing forces come in and they're like, I'm going to keep you in this old timeline. And then you're saying either yes or no to that. So in your rebirth, you get to decide, am I going to be different now? Am I going to see things differently now? Am I going to choose my reality differently now? That would look like you're looking at these perceived pendulums, balancing forces, and saying, actually, I choose to have the reality where I feel safe. That was something that was really, really big in this message today, is that your job is really, in this rebirth and this chaos, is to teach yourself safety, is to teach yourself peace. Like, if you can move through the chaos in peace, in your nervous system, in your body, then you automatically are not controllable. Like, you're not able to be kept in this old timeline by the pendulum and the balancing forces. If you don't respond with fear and worry and lack and unworthiness, if you respond with peace and you respond with regulation and you respond with, like, I'm going to be fine. This is God's will. This is the way. This is the quickest way for me to quantum jump and quantum leap into the timeline that I chose. And I chose it, and it's my free will, and I know how powerful I am, and I know that I am infinite. Like, that's the thing that I always remind myself whenever I have little human thoughts of like, I'm like, I'm an infinite being. Like, I'm fine. I'm an infinite being. This is all an illusion. Existential Kink is a great book because it gives you perspective on that. You don't necessarily have to make it like a kinky thing, but you can make it like a laughable thing. You can say, like, when you catch yourself having human moments of limitation, you can say, oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. I'm just like a little human, and I forgot that I'm literally infinite, and I thought, like, for a second there that I was limited, that I couldn't have the life that I wanted. I thought, oh, I just have to live this little 9-to-5 or work this 9-to-5 job that I hate and just be small and worry. Like, that's how the book explains you to do it. That's at least my interpretation. And so I imagine it like, I never played Sims. I watched other people play Sims. Like, I have a general idea of it. But like, you have your little sim, right? That's our human body here, our wonderful, magical human body that is created by this magic that is, related to Gaia. Like, it is fascinating. But this is just an experience. This is our vessel of life here on Earth. It is not the end. It is not all. You have way more to you. You have other dimensions, you have other realities, you have other lifetimes, other planets. That's what I know to be true. And when you tap into that infiniteness, you rewire all the stuff that comes up that tries to keep you out of growing. The other part of the message today was, it was a lot about the term that came through recently, in the sun I grow. If you don't know, recently I asked Gaia in these communications, like, can you tell me about love? She said, in the sun I grow. And we've been talking a lot about masculine, a lot about feminine energy on here. And, I am a single woman, and I'm looking for my divine masculine. And what I've learned over the years is that I desire to be in relationship with the divine masculine, though that has not been my experience, therefore it had not been familiar. And so I went on a deep dive of, what does that mean? Like, what does the divine masculine actually mean? What does divine feminine actually mean? And when in relationship, in love, what does that look like? So Gaia told me that when you're in your feminine and you are in the presence of the masculine, this light, this providing light, then you are able to grow. And I was like, well, is that enough for the masculine? Like, I just grow and I create and I have all this nutrients that I create from my growth, like she would in nature. And she was like, what about when you look at your garden? Like, I have a vegetable garden back there. And how do you feel, like, as you watch it grow? I'm like, well, I'm amazed. I'm proud. I'm happy. I love watching it grow. Like, it is such a wonderful experience, and I know that they're going to be very nutritious, the things that I get to eat one day. And she's like, it's the same thing. The masculine loves to be in that presence of holding the space, providing for, and getting to see what grows. I was like, oh my God. Oh, okay. That's beautiful. And then today, as I was standing in the river, there was just so much light dancing around. Like, the light was coming through the leaves and like dancing on the leaves. I wish I could show you guys this, but like, it's a very sacred place to me right now. Maybe one day I will feel called to do that. But the light comes through and it's like dancing on the tree and like dancing through the leaves and dancing on the water. And she's like, do you see how I move intuitively? Like, in nature, I'm moving intuitively, and that allows the light to come through and to reach the places that need the light in order to continue growing. And so my movement, my intuition allows the light to come through in all the areas that I need. And then I get to create more and more and more and more. And I was thinking, or receiving the download then, that like, so often we're forcing things. We are forcing things in our life to be here and be there and be this way and be that way. And that way, the light doesn't necessarily reach all the places that it's meant to, that in the way that it would if you were intuitively. And intuitively meaning moving doesn't just mean like big things, I guess. Like, on a scale, it could just mean intuitively going to a different grocery store. And, you know, that might seem small, but maybe you go to that different grocery store and then you meet somebody who is the sister of your husband and blah, 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 right? Like, that's where you get to grow, when you're moving and you're trusting yourself. But instead, sometimes people say, well, I always go to this grocery store because on Wednesdays they have coupons and this is on sale and I can't like not go to this for the sale because, you know, my fear of money and blah, 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 right? But if you just trusted yourself and trusted that you would be provided for in this flow, that more abundance than you could ever imagine is available to you in the flow, then your life could grow in ways that you never expected before. That, I think, made sense, right? When I'm down there and I'm receiving all this like, boom, 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 I'm like, whoa, my mind is like, how do I explain it? I sit down, I try and journal, but it's nowhere near what I received. And there was a part of it where it was like, different plants grow in different amounts of light, and like the ones that don't really need as much light, like they're very resilient, or the ones that don't need as much water, like they're very resilient. And so we are adaptable and we learn and we grow and we have ways of surviving and different needs. And so you will be able to nurture all and provide for all those different needs of yourself if you just move intuitively and you allow yourself to dance through life. Like, that's the best way I can explain it. Like, the light was literally just like dancing around. It was so beautiful. And then I was having the experience of like, because I go down with Arlo, where he's under the van, and then Zima and Duchess, my cat. One day soon, Aslan will join us, but we go down there, and I have a hard time trusting Arlo to go off in nature, but that's what he wants to do. He wants to go run through all the tall grass where the wolves are. There's like some bones that he was chewing, something dead from the wolves probably. And I go on this inner journey, and the great mother Gaia is like, you can trust me to take care of him. And I'm like, okay, yes, I will trust you to take care of him. I trust you, I trust you, I trust you. And then we're doing the downloads, and I'm like, Arlo! And I'm like, I don't fully trust yet. Like, and it's hard, you know, it can be hard to fully surrender. Trust is surrender, right? If you surrender, you're trusting. When you fully surrender, you're fully trusting. And so I'm standing there with the sun coming through, speaking with Gaia, having all this fear that I'm not actually protected, that my little This dog has been going off the whole time. My little fur baby is not actually like really, really protected. Like there's still that doubt. And that experience has been happening so that I can experience where I am in my full surrender and full trust of Source and of Gaia. Like in my full trust, I know that she would move the wolves. She would tell Zima to go stand with Arlo if it was danger time. Arlo would sense if it was danger time. Like something would happen. It would start raining. I don't know. Like the wind would blow strong enough to scare them off. Like something would happen. And I'm in that process. And this is an example that Source and Gaia wanted me to see in order for me to see where I am in everything else. And so it's been like a psychedelic journey going down there. And so I know where I stand in this, and I know that if you're here with me right now, that you're probably moving through something similar, and you're trying to find that trust and that surrender, and you're trying to know that the path that you're on right now is the right path, but it's probably hard sometimes because of the fear and all the things that come up, the worry, the distrust. But if you can find it in yourself, find it in your knowingness. Sorry for the dogs. Then you can set yourself free. You can go on the fast track to the timeline that you chose. You can be fully reborn into the life, into the timeline that you're meant to be in right now, and the purpose that you're meant to be fulfilling. And like I said in the very beginning, you had to experience being small so that you could learn how to be big. You had to experience the hard way so that you could learn it. You can't teach something that you can't learn or that you don't learn. And so that's why you're here right now. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I did go ahead and make merchandise. So I made merchandise. Right now it's only through my Patreon. Patreon allows you to make merchandise. So it's called the merch is In the Sun I Grow. So there's different tiers that I believe will allow you to have, like the tote bag and the shirt, and it's like every 3 months it will send you merchandise at one of the tiers, so you can go ahead and click the link below and learn more about that. If you're a woman and you would like to come to my retreat, I've been getting applications every day, and you guys are amazing. You are so inspiring. You are so wonderful. I'm so lit up about this experience. Here in Italy, October, we are doing a women's retreat called Wild and Free. You're going to be experiencing what I've been experiencing, this connection, this openness, this breaking the old patterns, this manifestation, this connection with others, with sisters, with Gaia, with Source, with opening up to the life that you're meant to live, and just celebrating that in community through breath work, yoga, sound baths, the spa that you guys will be able to stay at and have, every day you have access to the spa, the sauna, the cold plunge. I don't know if I just said that. We'll be doing horse therapy, horse trail riding if you want to do that. No experience needed. It's going to be magic, 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 magic. I'm so excited to welcome 15 of you here to Italy. So if you want to go ahead and apply for that, the link is below. And I will leave you with that. I have my courses as well. If you sign up for if you sign up for one of the tiers in Patreon, then you get my 21-day programs both for free, and you get 50% off decondition. And so that's like the one place right now where there is a discount sale thingy on my program. So I also have 21 days to rewire your mind, 21 days to know your divine guidance, and decondition. Of course, the doggy stopped barking as soon as I finished, but a moment with the sun. I like to put my bare feet in the ground as the sun's going down and do some sun gazing, as I am right now with you guys. And as the sun leaves, I just say, I trust you. I trust that you'll come back. I trust that you'll always be here. As long as the sun is shining, I'm alive. So if you don't know how to trust, you can do this little practice every single day. Just say, I trust you. I know you're coming back. And that knowingness, like that is surrender. That is trust. And that can help you build your relationship with trust. So I love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.